So convergence method in a nutshell is the label, all these labels that we use for what is being called, this isn't new, the feminine flow, the let's see what else, feminine flow, I've heard it, core energy, earth energy, central energy, sexual energy, just all these different labels. But it's that feminine energy, and it tends to flow from beneath and up. One of the reasons earth energy is a pretty good label as well. But again, don't get hung up on the labels, right? This is, again, many of you will have heard me say this before. And that's why the transition. The transition? Oh, and I bet it's locked up. So the switcher drives you crazy. So it's the reemergence. So it's the reemergence of this feminine energy flow. And the Conversations group talks about that a lot. Again, theory, but also experiential things as well. The 777 Club also has immersive meditations, which are really cool, that you can download and try. But anyway, so the convergence method, the reemergence of the feminine energy flow. So what is a topic about that? So I'm actually just going to go over to Mr. Flip Chart here. I'm almost wondering if my computer is overheating. I run a lot of stuff through here. Oh, no, it's not bad. I've got a little fan actually. So yeah, we'll just, I'll redraw it, just probably as easiest. So there's the physical, the non-physical, and time. And in case you're just watching this clip, really briefly, the physical is that aspect of this present moment that you experience with your five senses. The non-physical is that aspect of this present moment that are made up of your thoughts. So the way I break thoughts down, there's pictures of movies, voices, or dialogues. So it's that aspect of our experience that we maybe don't directly feel with our five senses. But just because it's non-physical doesn't mean it's non-real or non-relevant. And then there is that period of time. Any of you that have attended our events and did the home studies, there's this, we call it the creative flow. So the creative flow goes this way. So the environment here is what influence or really gives form to your physical experience. Again, just in a little tiny nutshell. Now I'm going to add one more label to this. Time and this buffer, also your body. So I'm sort of differentiating things a little bit now more. I'm going to label this just because. So is our thoughts, which are pictures, movies, voices, or dialogues. Five senses. And I'm going to call this your external experience. Right? So it's out here. It's your external experience out there. And then there is your body. So of course this is five senses as well. So there's those three aspects of it. There's your physical, which is your external experience, that five senses, the information that comes in from them. There's the non-physical, which are your thoughts. And then there is your body, which again, of course, is five senses. So what's been happening in this past, really the past while, but now really the reemergence of this is really what's presenting itself, is what I've called, and I've been using this for quite a while now, I call it community with a capital C. And what I mean by that is this community that's not based on a theology, a philosophy, a doctrine, a set of structures, labels, all that kind of stuff. This community that is now re-emerging, or communities, which would be more accurate, is based on spirits vibrating in bodies, that's you and me, that resonate or harmonize together. And so that natural community or blending or harmonizing just naturally happens. It's not based on an external set or structure that we fit into. There is no structure. If there is one, it's a byproduct of the harmonizing and blending of spirits and bodies vibrating together. And that structure that's created serves the community, not the other way around, which is a very big difference to what we've experienced for who knows how long. And it's dynamic and it's changing. It's not rigid because it's a byproduct of this blending and connecting. Okay. Now, where does that happen? So this is one of the really big game changers is that harmonizing, that blending together happens. Let's see what color I've got going on here. Happens here. So I did a video quite a while ago. It was called Mind Currents. And what I talked about was how hold on. Just don't mind me. Don't go away. Let's see. It's okay. No, that's just that's my sister. We moved our mother into an apartment. Her choice. I just checking. She must have went over and visited. Okay, so we're back. So that blending, that connecting, it happens here first. Now, you see, in the non-physical, one of the limitations that are not there that we may experience here is here, I am here and you're wherever you're at watching or listening to this. But in the non-physical, there isn't that. It is, as I said, sort of, I call it, like I said, I think I called it mind currents. And what I meant by that was, think of this is again quick, but you'll get it. This is a river. That's the shores of the river. And there's currents flowing through it. And my non-physical is this one. Whoops, is this one. And your non-physical is this one. And somebody else's non-physical is this one. And so what happens is we're all different currents in the same river, which means these can kind of crisscross. See what I mean? So when we are here, yes, this is your body and this is mine, but where there's that blending happens here. And the cool thing is it's not limited by time, but it's also not limited by distance. So that blending is happening, that harmonizing is happening in the non-physical. Now, why does this change everything? Because your community is being naturally created and it's not limited by, in this case, distance. So members of your community, there could be members of your community, you've never met them before. But what's happening is there's this natural harmonizing between spirits vibrating in bodies, which is you and I, that is creating these communities that are not limited by distance. Now, this isn't even a terribly new understanding. And we've experienced this before. I mean, we teach Reiki, right? So when Reiki, they talk about distance healing treatments and that connecting that happens. So that's not really anything that's terribly new. Here's what's new. What's new is this blending. Whoa, I moved the screen. This, and I don't know how to move it back because I don't know what it did. This blending that's happening here, right? The ability to actually feel it, these are supposed to be bodies, just so you know, feel it in our body is actually greatly enhanced. So where I'm going to say maybe in the past, and it's not that literal past, present, future kind of thing, but in the past, yeah, we've been aware of this, and the soul groups, and there's all sorts of different labels for it. So that's not terribly new. But what's happening is the ability for us to feel it in our body is. Now, this has always been here before, but what's happening is because so many of these external structures, topic for another show, are crumbling around us, there's a clarity that is happening. And so now, not only do we have this non-physical understanding of this natural harmonizing, but we also feel it more in our bodies. So we will actually, where it's happening now and it's going to happen more, not only when I talked about this here, right? Not only this is your mind, this is my mind, this is somebody else's, these are kind of blending together. We're actually able to feel that even more, which changes everything. See, that changes really in many respects. I'm just gonna move this keyboard. That changes the way it's really a renaissance. It's really a renaissance in the way we live, work, play, connect, heal, all that kind of stuff. Because I can feel what you're feeling. Because it's a cliche term, but it's true, because that veil is thinner now, right? The veil is thinner. And so we don't have so much of that kind of confusion and obstruction. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to feel sensations, 5 senses in our body, right? You're going to feel sensations that there's no apparent external cause for them. And again, many of you experienced like this before. It's just going to be enhanced and deepened. You'll smell an aroma, right? And many of you have experienced this. You smell, I don't know, you smell pipe smoke, or you smell grandma's apple pie or something like that. And so what's happening more and more is that maybe somebody in your community, and this is a little bit projecting into the future, but I really believe this is what's happening, is somebody in your community is cooking apple pie. And so they're catching that aroma, right? So they're catching that aroma, or they're smelling it. Where am I at here? Whoops, here's what I want. They're catching that aroma, and that what happens is now that's blending here, right? So you got this person here that's on the other side of the world cooking apple pie. You're on this side of the world. So I'm not saying you connect directly here, but where you're connecting is here, and you are feeling, in this case, or smelling the aroma that they're smelling. This happens in twins often, maybe not that, but one twin will know what the other twin, if the other twin is ill, the other twin will feel it, and that type of thing. I think that's just an expansion of this, which now changes everything again, because as you continue in your self-healing work, expanding, growing, and evolving, now the other members of your community are going to experience the benefits of that. Now, remembering, we always are our own people, so it's not like we lose our own autonomy, but there's also this power that is within this community, because what's causing this and the ability to feel that is the reemergence of the feminine energy flow, because the feminine energy feels. This is what's been missing for so long, or at least have been allowed to atrophy, and again, at least in our Western society, so much, is that ability to feel. So as that ability returns in many ways, now this bonding and this blending that's been happening for who knows how long, we're now able to feel it in deeper and more powerful ways. And that changes everything. That really just changes everything, because now you and I and whoever else is in your community is now connected in a more deeper way, experientially. So when you heal, everybody in your group heals. That we can all lean on each other. We can grow with each other. And don't be surprised if people will start to just show up, because as your community starts to gather together, I really believe, and again, it's not like this hasn't been happening before, but it's going to be happening a lot more now, is that this natural connecting, both non-physically and physically, is going to happen more and more and more, which will change, as I said, everything. Boy, that was an awful long convergence mini tip, but there you go. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. That second one was really powerful. A lot of it was kind of flowing as I was talking. Share, share, share. We're all in this together. I clipped these two, so they're two little segments, and I'll post them as well. They're up on YouTube as well, so you can kind of just jump to those, each one of these sections, if you wish. We're good. See you on the web.